What's up, Scoopers? I'm your host, Erica Kroopin, and today I have the pleasure of chatting with Courtney from Palmetto Scoopers. What's up, Courtney?
Hey, how you doing today, Erica? My name is Courtney Ceacal. I'm the owner and operator of Palmetto Scoopers from Columbia, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Are you going to the Scooper convention since it's going to be in your neck of the woods?
Oh yes, most definitely. I'll be there talking some shit.
Yeah. I just registered yesterday, so I'm very excited.
Nice. Yes, I just met with a local scooper from down there in Myrtle Beach, Ryan McGuinn, I believe. I might be saying that wrong, but yeah, I just met with him this past weekend. Yes, great guy.
Yeah, just had Ryan on the pod,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Me, he was telling me that. Yes.
I love this. This is like the best. All right, so why don't you give the listeners a little rundown, a little spiel, what you're about, who you are, all that good stuff.
All right, so my name's, like I said, Courtney Ceacal.
Yep.
I'm originally from Orangeburg, South Carolina, about 45 minutes out of Columbia, which is where I'm located at right now and where I operate out of. And I say I am a South Carolina native, born, bred, and raised, baby. Love the South, love boiled peanuts, love football, sports, being in the woods, all that good stuff. And I say if you want to know just like some 3 little fun facts, which I kind of gave you a little hint about, I do like playing in the woods when I'm not scooping poop. I like running from 4-wheelers and stuff, getting dirty, getting muddy, having some fun, a little adrenaline junkie. I do ride my bike sometime, like, do some mountain trail bike riding as well as fishing. I love all that nice stuff you get to do just to kind of, clear your head after a long day of scooping or a long week or month. We all know how those could be. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, in the summertime it feels like 1 week is an entire month.
Yes.
It's like, ooh, man, you're an active guy.
Yeah, I like to stay busy. I mean, I got 3 kids, so I mean, on top of that, I do some other things besides poop scooping, but this is my main thing. And like I said, having 3 kids, very active as well, so I'm staying busy.
That's cool. You're able to stay active with them because we have 3 boys as well. And when they were younger, we were running ragged. Now they don't want nothing to do with us. So
yeah, I'm about there. I got a 16, 15-year-old coming up on. Still got one that's 8, so he's gonna be hanging around until he get tired of me. But the other 2, yeah, they about ready to leave, and I'm like, it's cool, just make sure the ATM don't go with you.
Right. Right. All right, before we hop into this and we do a deep dive into your business, the people want to know about your first time. So tell us about that first scoop.
Oh God, I actually never probably had this conversation with too many people. So the first time I actually got my first scoop was kind of unexpectedly. I was at a friend's house, just started the business, was about 6 months or so in, maybe a little bit less. And I had got a phone call. And at that time I didn't really think about my phone number being a business number. So when I got the phone call, I was like, hello. They was like, hey. And they were like, I'm looking for a poop scooping. I'm like, what? It was like, I'm looking for some, I got a dog, needed some pickup. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, this is Poop Busters, which, that's not our name now. That's a long other story, but yeah. So I had basically talked to them, got to the house. They had 2 Wayne Morainers, got there, and the y'all was super nice, like private gated community, but it was definitely strange because like I got done scooping. He came back home because he had left in the middle of me scooping and came back home with some Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't know if they have that up there where you're at, but he was like, oh,
yeah.
some? Yeah, and he gave me, and they were like with the fresh light on. So I was like, oh, these are warm. And I was like, man, I need more clients like this. Like I do the little initial scoop, I get some donuts in it. Like we could work that out as a little tip, not for payment, but I'll take a tip in donuts.
Oh goodness. So so it went well. You scooped it. They tipped you with some donuts.
Yeah, and they've been a long time client. I say their dogs passed away about 2-3 years ago. But like I said, they've been clients of mine up to about 6-7 years.
Now, how did you price them? How'd you figure that out?
Horribly, I say compared to now. But at that time, the market was really different. So the pricing, I say was decent, but I wasn't really charging them the full price because I was giving them a discount for doing a larger than a 1/4 acre yard, as well as I didn't charge them a real price for the front yard cleaning. I just charged them a flat price for the back and front. And I was like, when I actually started looking at pricing, when I started to know more about the industry, I was like, I'm losing money on this one, but I look at it as, they did refer me to clients as well. So I said, it had a long-term benefit, but short-term I was losing. Yeah.
You were losing financially, but gaining knowledge,
Yeah.
right? Because you're like, okay,
Yeah.
we need to have zones. I need to
Yeah.
price this a little higher. How long did you keep their price the same way?
So I keep mine honestly about every 3 years. That's when we do a price increase.
Okay, because my first one, I priced her for $55 for a good 2.5 years. And it was 2 Great Danes, a very large property, front, back. And finally, I was like, I need to bump your price up a little. And I was so scared to do that first one. And then afterwards, I'm like, everybody's price is going up.
Oh yes, and especially when costs go up. And I mean,
Yeah.
you get very busy, demanding, and when you realize, I'm sure when you started out like I did, if you want to be successful and be able to run a successful business, you need help, and it takes
Yes.
fun.
And help is expensive, but it's so worth it, to build that team around you.
Definitely is. It gives you time.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it. So what made you get into this business?
I try to give you the shortest version of this. So before I started Poop Scoopin, I was actually looking into starting my own business, and I was looking at several different businesses, alcohol store, because I was like, people always gonna drink, no
Absolutely.
matter what. And after I looked into it and saw how much it costs, and like how you have to like ask the neighbors and the community before you even add it in there, and then all the different hoops you got to jump through, it just really didn't work out. So I started looking at breeding dogs, because I always loved dogs, and pitties are my favorite. Love them to death. Like,
Same.
got me a puppy right now, 8 months old, Layla, pure crazy. If you see her, she is the first lady of Palmetto Scoopers, and that's, like I said, that's my baby. So how we get to this story is, like I said, I was breeding dogs, and I had got Roxy and Tiger, who's my first 2 dogs, and we bred them successfully twice. And I was like, all right, this is okay, but right at the second time of doing that, I don't know if you're super familiar with sports, but that was right around the Michael Vick thing. I'm sure you're familiar with the Michael Vick thing,
Yes.
with dog fighting. So yeah, that happened, and I was like, oh crap, this is going to change the market. So a dog I could sell for $600 went to $150, and I was like, I can't make money and sustain.
No.
Like, when I got 2 young kids, I need to figure something out. So I stopped breeding my dogs, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to go back and find a job. And I was working, just convenience store jobs, help these 2 convenience stores actually build up the clientele base in the community and help actually generate more profit over about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. So afterwards, I was like, maybe I can, try to, like I said, start my own business. And then shortly after, my dog Tiger had got sick one day, and I was like, all right, well, let's just take him to the vet, see what's going on, And it was like, well, he got heartworms, and this is gonna be the issue. But he was like, we got 2 options. And I was like, all right. I was like, and this is it. He's like, yeah, this is it. So I was like, all right. He's like, option 1, we can do open heart surgery, 50% chance he dies. And I was like, you sure? And he's like, or we can do medication, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, let's try the medication. I don't want to risk him dying. So I ordered this medication coming from California, expedited it so it could be here on Monday. He ended up passing away that Saturday night, 2 a.m. in the morning. I never forget it. Even my oldest daughter, she'll even tell you, like, she remember us getting up in the middle of the night because we had let him to go outside to use the bathroom. He was whining. And then I realized he was out there for a while. And I was like, well, maybe he's just out there. And then my girl dog, Roxy, started whining to go. I was like, all right, maybe she want to go out there with him. And when we opened the door, that's when we find him outside, dead on our back porch. And the only reason I know, because he had, relieved his bowels. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So then we wrapped him up in the comforter, took him in the car. Like I said, 2 o'clock in the morning, took him to the emergency vet. They held the body. And that's when, we also was asked if we wanted to get an autopsy. We got that done. And they found out it was actually bacteria in his bloodstream, nothing to do with heartworms at all. And I was like, wow, so this vet misdiagnosed our dog. And I won't say their name. They're not even open to this day anymore. And, they sent me and my wife, a sympathy card. I honestly didn't even care, because I was like, you misdiagnosed my dog. And now, because you did that, he's dead. What if we would have actually know what was wrong? Maybe I could have prevented it. But also, I was telling people I wasn't picking up the dog poop in my yard. So it was, really my fault. And I had landscapers that used to come by every week. And I had a very small backyard, like cookie cutter backyard. You know how small those are.
Yeah.
And when my lawn guys would come there, cut the grass and blow the leaves around the edge of the property of the fence line. Well, I never checked it. I always thought, they blow it, scoop it up, everything was good. Well, they weren't doing that. They were blowing the dog poop around the perimeter. And when he'd go outside, he passed away about 6 years old. So, I mean, it had been going on for a long period of time. And that's what I always tell people is usually not overnight they eat dog poop and they're going to get sick and die. I'm like, it's an extended period of time, just like smoking cigarettes. You can smoke cigarettes today, you ain't going to get cancer and die. You smoke it for 10, 20 years. That's when the effects actually starts to affect your life and shorten it as well. But then it's too late usually because now you're playing catch up. And that's why I tell people, like, that's how I really figured it out and honestly got into this business because I wanted to know how can I educate the community on how this affected me and my family, how I can help them prevent that from happening. And for just doing something so simple as just having a pooper scooper come picking up dog crap. And, I always try to like make it into a joke when I bring it up conversation because, I don't try to go into full detail of like my backstory, but I just try to let them know, like, it does matter, even though you don't see it right now, long term it is. But yeah, like I said, I hate to go into like full deep story, but
I'm about to start crying over here. No.
Well, that's why I tell people like I don't like, going into full detail, which I went a little bit deeper than I wanted to, but yeah.
I had no idea that could happen. I didn't know that the accumulation of dog poo can get a dog sick like that. That's new to me.
Yeah, because it contains all the bacteria and stuff like hookworms, giardia.
Yeah. I guess I just never really thought that like that deep into it to where it could actually like take a dog's life. I thought, maybe they could get a little sick, bacteria come in the house. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same here. I never would have thought that. I just figured, it's just dog poop. It was like fertilizer, I always assumed, because once again, like I said, I didn't know. I mean, I even get people that tell me this, they're like, oh, I just throw it over the fence. And I'm like, no, it's actually building up bacteria on the backside of your yard, attracting mice, snakes, all kind of rodents. Because I've even cleaned the yard before where they had like a dog pool full of shit covered like up on the ground, and I literally found like a dead rat under there. And
it's got all the macros. It's got like the fat. It's got all of that stuff, so it attracts them big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the bacteria, like all the like little bugs in there, was eating the dead rat. So it was crazy. It was
just a hodgepodge of just bad shit going on.
Yeah.
Well, when did you start your business? What year?
I started in October 17th, 2014 to be exact date. And like I said, we started out as Poop Busters, but I'll give you short spiel. 6 months in, I got a call from them. They franchised out. It was a call from New Mexico. That's when I told them I don't want to pay them a franchise fee. I'm starting something on my own. And that's when I came with Palmetto Scoopers.
Gotcha. So 2014. So you've been in business for 9 years.
Yeah, coming up on 9 years. And I always tell everybody, I started this with my own money, no government loans, no crazy stuff like that. Just genuine hustle and just doing my own research. I mean, which I didn't do a bunch of at the beginning. Like I said, started out as Poop Busters, had to change the name. So,
but also the internet was a thing, but it wasn't as big as it is now, and there wasn't a lot of information out there because I started back in 2017, and there wasn't a lot out there at that time.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, 2017 was just like 2014. Like it was literally like a secret society. Like if you knew, you knew. And if you didn't, it was like, oh, what is a pooper scooper? So
now I got a big old mouth and I'm telling everybody, I'm sorry. Nobody put a hit out on me, okay?
Don't worry, you got the power of shit protecting you.
Thank goodness. So what does your business look like today?
I'll say today, right now I'll say we're number one in my area. We have a few other people that work, but I'll say we got 70 plus Google reviews, all 5-star business. And I got a couple I got 3 techs that work with me as well that help me run the business, and definitely better than where it was at the beginning. I didn't have no technology. I was using just pen and paper to write all my scheduling and keeping up with visits. And my God, that crap got old. My hand got tired, and taking a vacation when you want to be free and you ain't got nobody to cover your route, you realizing you're losing money because you ain't doing that for spending it. So
and then people are reaching out to you, even though you told them that you were leaving. They're like, hey, you didn't come this week. It's like, because I'm on vacation. I'm chilling.
Yeah. Did you get the email? Like, oh yeah, I did see that. Like, Should have read that.
They don't care. I remember
No.
the pen and paper days. I'd be laying there sleeping and I'd open my eyes and be like, did I write that person down? Did I route them?
Yes, yes.
I did not sleep peacefully back then.
Oh no. Or did you keep it with the right visit? Like, is it on 4 or is it on 1? Is it on 44, 54? You know, so yeah.
It was rough. Definitely rough. I've come home and then had to go back out because I realized I missed a scoop, and I definitely did not miss those days.
No, God,
But
no.
those are the building days, though, right? It made us who we are today.
We made it easier for the others that, starting today.
For sure, for sure. So a big question in the community is a pricing model, right? Do you charge per bucket? Do you charge per hour? Do you do a flat rate?
Yeah.
How do you charge?
So I really do flat rate fees. I used to do, the pricing structure, but what I honestly figured out just after doing some more market research, clients really, at least what I see in my area, don't really like the fluctuation. And what I realize as well is just being a scooper out, clients don't always let you know when they get a new dog. Or, if one happened to like pass away, they let you know that a little bit sooner. Yeah. But if they add on one, you typically don't know till you're picking up more shit. And then you have to have that uncomfortable conversation that you and I both, and you're like, I noticed there's a little bit more shit out here in the back. Do you got another dog? Or you see the dog eventually, you're like, hey, did you get another dog? And then they're like, oh yeah. So like I said, that's why I got rid of the pricing structure. I used to do it by dog, how many visits, all that such. Now I just do flat rate where it's $25 a visit for 1 to 4 dogs. And if you got once a week visit, yes, per month. And then if we're doing twice per week, it's just double the price. And then we do double the visits. That's it.
So that's good. I do a flat rate, but it's per dog. And I've definitely had that awkward conversation. But what I've done with my verbiage is I don't just straight up say, hey, you got another dog, I'm charging you more. I say, hey, I noticed you have another dog, or I noticed more dog poop. By any chance, did you get another dog? And if so, do they have all of their shot records? Are they up to date on their shots? And I let them know with puppies. I actually used separate equipment to scoop because of parvo. Parvo is huge here. And so when there is a puppy, we use different equipment because I let that stuff soak afterwards.
Oh, yes. Yes, same here. We use the Kennesaw, typically if we ever run across any people that have dogs that have parvo, but especially if they have puppies, we always like to do the same thing as well. And we keep separate tools in the truck as well for those times.
Yeah, so that's another way to, bring up the conversation and then let them know that, we're concerned. And then, oh yeah, by the way, I'll send you your updated bill. Keep a lookout in your email.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I never go aggressively like, hey, motherfucker, you got a dog shitting back here.
You want to,
Yeah,
or my favorite is like, oh, that's my grand dog. Well, I've seen your grand dog here the last 6 weeks in a row. So you got to pay. You got to pay for the grandbaby.
Yeah, I had one of those a couple times. Like, yeah, my grand dog just visited. I'm like, for 4 months.
Yeah. Exactly. That's hilarious. So you've been in business for a long time. So what would you say right now? What is your business known for?
Say that one more time.
Okay. Every business has its strength, right? Like their thing. Like mine's communication. Like I am bomb.com with my communication. What would you say that your business strength is right now?
I will honestly probably say the same thing. I mean, I look in a lot of reviews. I say my pricing as well as my communication. I get a lot of clients say they love the pricing structure just because they know what it's going to be no matter what. And they do like that when they call a number, they get me, not some in-between person, some call center, some virtual assistant, which I'm not against.
I just hired one.
That was say I'm not against because I do like I said, time freedom, and I'm sure now that you say you got older kids, I'm sure, eventually you and your husband want to be enjoying your life again, not just scooping shit every day. And, we need that time back. So, yeah. Virtual assistant.
That's what I was trying to do is leverage my time, and bringing on a virtual assistant was difficult for me. It's vulnerable, right? You're letting somebody into your business. They're seeing the hot mess that you have, right? But it's like, it makes sense in here. But I knew if I wanted to grow and I wanted to expand, I had to make that happen. And I've had the virtual assistant for like 3 weeks now. No complaints yet, so I'm here for it. And I'm
Nice.
still able to answer the phone if I need to. So it rings 3 times for me, and I have the option to pick it up. If I choose not to, it clicks over to the center.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I like about that. But it was a tough decision, but I'm happy I did it.
All right. Well, I got a question for you after the
Yeah.
interview. I don't want to flip the interview, but I have a question now. You got me intrigued.
All right. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm going to make a whole video and a whole podcast about it once I, have things figured out. It's too new for me to be like, yes, definitely go ahead and use this company. I recommend it. But if I
Yeah.
like them, I'll get a link.
All right.
But yeah, I'll answer that. All right. So you're good with your communication. People really like your prices. What would you say one of the hardest lessons you've learned in business so far?
The hardest lessons I say is sticking to your price and not bending on it at all, knowing your value. When I first started out, like I said, I was relatively cheap, even lowballing myself just to get jobs, thinking, just because I had franchises in the area, my worth wasn't the same. But after I realized, I was able to walk into a yard and know exactly how many bags I need, how much time it would take, then I realized that time was valuable to me, especially when my kids started getting older, being more active. And, I used to tell me I used to work 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. And I quit that as well just about 3 years ago. I don't work no weekends, Monday through Friday. If we can't make it then, we're not gonna make it. I don't care.
Nice.
Because and I don't say that like in a mean way where I don't care about the client and their needs, but my kids need me as well. And I gave up a bunch of time at the beginning of this business to build this. So I said, I'm gonna change it, get away that. And it's actually helped me as well with retaining employees because who likes to work on a Saturday? Your friends out here on the lake drinking, partying. And as well as if we the boss, I mean, last thing I want you to do is call me on a fucking Saturday and I'm drinking. you know?
Right. And they're like, oh, I can't come in. And then you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't want to play that. So I changed that and it's definitely been a tremendous help as well.
So I don't really drink anymore. But
Yeah,
once upon a time I did. But sometimes on a Friday, I'd be looking to see where the technician is. When they clocked out their last house, I'm like, boom, drinking time.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it does help takes off the stress. But yeah. I don't have time to be drinking no more these days.
I got hammered at this last wedding I went to, like way too drunk. And oh my God, I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
At one point,
Same with
I kicked off my high heels and I was wearing my glitter Crocs with my bridesmaid's dress, and I was twerking, and I can't believe it. I know somebody's got a video, and I'm like, do not post that shit on Facebook for the love of God.
You're like, no, this never happened.
I haven't done it since before 2020, right when the pandemic shut down. Like I was already on the tail end of my twerking days at that point. Then the pandemic happened, and it's been years, So I
The
was like,
post-pandemic, twerk. You had to get it back in one more time. There's nothing
and
wrong with the post-pandemic.
oh goodness, the knees just aren't built the same way, I tell you.
I know the feeling.
That's funny. How long would you say that it took you to build up the confidence in your business like skills, and for you to be like, I know my worth. These are my prices. I'm sticking to it.
I would say honestly about 4 years so about 2018, 2019, because I say like the first 2 years was really me figuring out stuff. So I always tell people like I taught myself a lot of stuff about business by taking a bunch of courses online through like Coursera and stuff like that. So I taught myself digital media marketing that way, SEM, SEO, because I didn't know what none of that stuff was. And I was paying a guy and he was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this every month. But I wasn't seeing I wasn't seeing no money from this. And I'm like, man,
Right.
I'm paying you. And the price was really affordable. So, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And once again, with 2015, 2016, 2017, internet wasn't great. So I'm figuring, it's a great guy. I found him on, I think, Fiverr, one of the freelancers websites. So, after a while, I was like, man, I don't see no money coming from this guy doing anything. I'm like, man, what is he doing? But I was like, how can I know what he's doing if I don't understand what he's doing? So only way I could do this is let me learn what this is that he is doing. So when I started to learn about SEO, like meta tags, and learn about Google Analytics and how I need to put my Google Analytics tag on my website page on each and every page so I can track what people are clicking on, how long they stand on this page, what page they're visiting, whether my website is like actually running at an optimized speed mobile as well as on the laptop or the tablet. I was like, all right, okay, now I'm seeing stuff. And then I started learning about Facebook Pixel, and I was like, oh, so when I'm running these Facebook ads, this is why I'm not seeing where they're coming from, because I don't even have tags on my pages. So then after that, I started asking him questions like, hey, are you doing this? Did you do this? He was like, oh, all right, I could do that for you. And I was like, so you did this? Then I started learning about indexing your website, to Google, and to doing backlinks to other websites with blog posts and stuff. I was like, are you doing any backlinks or indexing them? He's like, well, yeah, I could do it. I was like, he's not doing shit. So that's when I started looking for like other websites that would actually compare mine to other websites where I can do it in a graph type of base thing. And that's when I was able to see where I was missing a lot of things that I was paying him for he wasn't doing. And I felt like, sure, the price is cheap, but just tell me if you got a premium service. I'm okay with paying the price as long as the production is there. So I ended up firing him, doing it on my
Good.
own. Yeah, building my own website, started really teaching myself how to market my business and understand that when I'm marketing my business, I'm not only marketing it, but I'm marketing myself as well. Because when my clients hire the business, they're hiring me. So, and yeah, I'd say that was like one of the hardest things I learned. I hate to go like super down rabbit hole, but yeah, it just, you definitely, if you're gonna hire somebody in anything to do anything in your business, make sure you understand what they're doing, or at least have some kind of basic understanding of what they're actually doing and what you're paying them for. Because if not, you're probably not getting what you paid for.
That is a great nugget. That's a sound bite right there. Because if you don't know what to look for, right? They're just, what is it, pulling the wool over your eyes? What is that saying?
Yeah, pulling the rug out from under you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't know anything about that before. Is it anything, did that interest you prior? No?
Did it now? Oh my God. I love analytics now. Like I look at my Google Analytics, Facebook. I even be looking at the ones for marketing on TikTok. Like it's pretty insane. Even LinkedIn. I see you on LinkedIn, right? Yeah.
I have a very weak profile. Analytics isn't my thing. That is where I struggle right there, is looking at graphs and numbers and all of that. So, but I'm glad that you brought that up because I want to talk about that.
I gave you a tip right there.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to listen to that over and over again. So you have a really strong social media. Your Instagram's popping, TikTok popping.
Yes.
How, like, I know we don't have to go super deep, but when you're putting your videos together, you're thinking about posting stuff. Is it on the spot? Are you pre-planning?
Not always on the spot. Sometimes it is. It varies. Sometimes it's pre-planned. I'm really looking for things that's trending, or I'm honestly thinking about how can I grab my client's attention, like organically, or just something that I find funny, or just like if I had a conversation with the client, they found it funny that we giggled about something. I'm like, cool, that's a video. And as well as my marketing social media person that I hired on recently, they definitely give me a lot of good tips on some marketing things as well. And we usually collaborate on different ways we can actually help make the business something a good video, or even post back in the early days of Instagram when it was like just mostly posts. What would actually be something that would give us good traction and actually good organic reach without actually having to do any paid marketing. Yeah.
Is the paid marketing is so expensive now.
Yes.
And the reach isn't even that good.
No, it's trash. I mean, I hate to say it like that, not bashing any social medias, but 5 years ago, it was sweet. I mean, like, you spent 20 and you felt like you spent 100. Now you spend 20, you get $5 worth.
Yeah. I've been noticing the boost posts have been doing better than just running a regular ad on Facebook.
Yes, they definitely do. And, I say, I definitely look at the analytics. So what you want to look at is the time of day that you're getting the most engagement, what days, as well as what I say sex, male, female, as well as what age range, because that'll help you actually learn what age range is looking at your videos, what, men, what sex, because, I hate to say it, men, our attention span is very short. And if, you got ADHD or ADD, like me and my kids, I mean, you got really 3 seconds to grab me, if not really one. And it's like, all right, I'm off of it. So, I would say that's one of the things you really want to look at. And as well as look at trending, hashtags or videos that's going on right now on any social media platform.
I'm glad you said that because my husband will be watching stuff and I'm like, that shit is so dumb. And he's just over there, key, 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 key. And I can't relate. And so that I probably need to be posting that dumb stuff.
It's all right. I mean, look here. I posted some dumb stuff way, way more than once. I mean, if you ain't see that video of me with the wig on and somebody getting slapped because they talk about picking up their dog poop last week and they did. I mean, it's some crazy stuff, but I do enjoy doing it. And I love making people laugh. I always tell people my dad's a DJ. So like growing up in my house, there was always a lot of time to crack jokes, and my dad's a big clown. I mean, even my mom, they like cracking jokes. Even me and my kids and our family, like it's nothing mean, but you have a thick skin, but you also build some character.
I like that. I do. Sometimes I get so focused on my BS. I'm just in the zone. My husband will call me Erica Buzzkill Kroopin and tell me I'm way cooler online. And that makes me sad.
You just got to bring that same personality out in person, though. That's it. That's
I know.
It's easy. He might be. You got to just let go of the scooping thoughts when you just enjoying it. You're just like, all right. Go back to those pre-pandemic twerking days,
Yes, that wild fun Erica.
Yeah, that Erica's still there. Just got the load of crap on top. You got to get off to your virtual assistant. That's it.
Yes, that's gonna free up a lot more time once I get her trained, or them trained, I should say. But they're good. They've been asking me a lot of questions. They'll be like, "Well, why do you do this?" And I'm like, I don't know. I do it. That's how I liked it.
Good. Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you another tip. Document everything.
Yeah.
That way, the next time you have to hire another one, guess what? You don't have to give all them this verbiage again. You got it already scripted.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I did a lot of documenting in the beginning, my responses to customers, copy and paste.
Yes.
Because that saved a lot of time because I couldn't afford a CRM in the beginning.
Yeah, neither could I.
We were the CRM.
Oh, CRM, SEO, SEM. I mean, God, every little bit. PR person, I'm still that to this day.
Yeah.
I always tell people that's one thing I say one of my proudest moments, like as a business entrepreneur, we always try to get traction, reach out to like media and things like such. And during the pandemic, I actually had created a calendar, and donated 100% of the calendar funds to a local rescue shelter here called Final Victory Rescue. And I was just trying to figure out how to get some media reach for the business, as well as being able to give away this money to a local rescue shelter. And I was just trying to figure out something. I was like, whatever. I'm just going to take my shot and I'm going to mail all of these calendars to all the media people right in my local area, all the police officers, all the fire departments. I'm like, worst come worst, I don't get no clients from it. Worst come worst, the media don't call me. But I'm like, at least I took that chance and took that shot. Lo and behold, pandemic, like I said, I'm going to pick up Mexican with the kids, get a phone call. And she's like, hey, I'm so-and-so with, the local media. And I was like, and it's like a television company, like one of the big ones in the area. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And she was like, yeah, I'll email you the stuff. We're going to do an interview. And this is the date, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, sure. Okay. All right. And I had it on speakerphone. My kids were here. And then we hung up. And I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. It's a scam. My daughter's like, nah, I think it's legit, Dad. I'm like, nah, whatever. So then we go grab our Mexican food coming back home. And I checked my email. I was like, it was legit. So I was like, oh, wow. So then the heart pumping, I got the excitement going, the adrenaline. I'm like, it worked. I mean, they're like hype,
right.
Kids hyping me up. And it was just like a real good win just for my kids to see that, you don't really always need a PR company. You just really got to take your chance out there and get out of your comfort zone and just take that chance of hearing no, because even though you don't hear no from somebody else, we all know you poop scooping, you're going to hear somebody say, hey, yeah, I want your shit. you know,
Yeah.
and it was cool just to hear that, you know.
Two things. I love that your kids were there to experience that with you.
Yeah,
That's so amazing. They're there with you through the process, building those
yeah,
memories. And
yes,
two, no means next opportunity.
yes, yes, always,
Always,
always. Yeah,
always.
and I learned that. I always did. I used to do sales as well. I did telemarketing years and years ago, and I did cold calling, where you
Oh,
calling people getting hung the fuck up on
yep.
150 times. And I remember I being there. Hey, I'm with so and so. Click. Hey, I'm with so and so. Click. And then eventually I'll be, oh yeah, I want to buy an ad in the magazine. I'm like, ah, sweet. You know, felt like a champion. You know, I'm in there throwing rocky punches and stuff. But you know, felt like a champion. But then I hear another 150 no's. And so I get that yes. And it really taught me, you know, how to really take those no's, like you said, and look for the next opportunity, as well as I did, like I said, a lot of sales jobs back in my early days, like early teens, that really helped me develop like a lot of my salesmanship that I use as well.
And it helps you be like resilient and deal with like stress. Cause I mean, business, I mean, you're lighthearted, you're easygoing, but this business can be real stressful and trying to
Yeah.
balance family life, personal life, business life. How do you balance that and handle those?
I say long, deep breaths,
Yeah.
therapy. You know, I always tell people mental health is something I actually started learning more about as I got older. And it do helps. I mean, it's good to have somebody to talk to, just clear your head. And as well as just taking time for yourself, like alone, no friends, family, no cell phone, no nothing, just yourself. And spending that time to clear your head. And that's why I tell you I like to go riding like mountain bikes or go fishing. Because when I'm doing any of those things, my head is just clear of all the stress. This is like just for me, my selfish thing. And as well as like I like to go to the gym occasionally. I don't go as much as I should. But even then, you know, I'm like, all right, Courtney, this is the only selfish thing you're doing for yourself. Like, you're here to work out, stay in shape so you don't have to worry about scooping no poop and being crippled one day. I'm like, this is for you. So I would say like that's some of the things I like to do, just kind of decompress after all the stress of, you know, anything that could happen, you know, anything.
Now, with being a man, right? Was that something hard? Was that hard for you to be like, you know what? I need to address my mental health because a lot of times society says men can't have feelings.
I honestly say it's very difficult as a black man in America. You know, that's something I don't really always like to voice my opinion about, but it's true. I mean, I was raised in a society where men, you know, we typically keep our emotions bottled up, shut up, and you know, I actually don't show any. But I was like, you know, in order for me to grow as a business owner, as a man, and as a leader of my team, and where I plan on seeing myself in the next 30 years, I have to get past some trauma that I went as a kid
Hmm.
is growing up as a man to this day to honestly transcend to where I want to be at. And the only way I can do that is facing those issues and building better relationships or letting whatever happen happen and move past that. And I say over the past 3, 4 years I've been gone, it definitely helped me tremendously. Even with being a better leader to my team, you know, helping make better decisions when they make mistakes, as well as when, you know, I saw them making a mistake and instead of doing something that I normally would have done, which was usually more aggressive because that's how I used to like handling things, just direct, aggressive. This is how it is versus never thinking about the other person, how they're going to handle it emotionally, as well as how to talk to them, as well as I want them to talk to me if it was vice versa.
Yeah, and it's hard to learn those skills if you haven't been taught them. And I don't know, I want to give you a clap for recognizing it and actually doing it because a lot of people don't. They don't want to face the fact that they have issues, right? And
Yeah,
working through those issues. I mean, I go to therapy every 2 weeks, right?
yeah, yeah,
At Monday at 4 o'clock, every 2 weeks, I go. And it's almost like when you have like a closet, right? And you're
yeah,
pulling everything out of your closet and you look around and it's a mess. And then you have to
yeah,
figure out how to put it all back in there. Some
yeah,
stuff you got to leave out. Um, but when you finally have a breakthrough and things are starting to click, you're leading better. Not only, I'm sure, your team, but you're able to lead your family better.
yes,
And you're able to talk to people the way that they need to be talked to, not the way that you want to talk to them.
yes, very much, very much. Because that's something, like I said, when I started this business, I knew I would hire eventually one day. Never really thought about, you know, developing myself as a leader because I'm like, you know, you know, how we got our arrogance on when we first started.
Yeah.
I'm cocky, I'm the best. I don't need nothing. I'm just, yeah, yeah, you know,
I'm the
don't worry
baddest
about
scooper
me.
around.
yeah, I'm the best mother, you know, in this mother, I'm the best scooping this motherfucker out here. So, you know, and as I started seeing I was having a high turnover rate with team members, I was really trying to start figuring out what was the real issue. Was it what I was paying them? Was it my routing? Was it me? And when I started to like really dig deep, I'm like, all right, well, I'm paying them good, but I could pay a little bit better. So I started doing that, but I still started seeing the same thing, losing people. I'm like, what is it? And then when I started realizing how I was talking to them when I had an issue, and as well as how I handled it, because like I said, if they messed up on a job, instead of me trying to teach them how to fix it, I was like, nope, I just do it myself. I don't want you to do anything. I don't need you to do it because you're gonna keep doing it wrong. I do it right myself because I don't need you. And then I was like, why am I gonna keep doing that? So when I actually was able to, you know, go through a lot of things and actually be able to process.
Because it's easier. It's honestly easier just to go out and do it yourself than take the time, right? Especially if you're busy, you're still out scooping. Stop your day, stop what you're doing, take your scooper out there and then walk through it with them. It
Yeah.
takes time, it takes money, it takes patience, it takes all of these things that if you're not emotionally intelligent enough, you're not there yet, you can't do it. And I wasn't there. I actually just dropped a podcast about how I'll do it myself is one of the most expensive phrases.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I had to learn that the hard way.
But at least you learned it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
how do you handle customer complaints now that you have grown?
So what I usually do is I look at it, read it, then process it for about 30 minutes. Then that's when I come up with my response, which is usually a typical verbiage. And I tell them, you know, I usually apologize for the mistake, let them know we'll correct it within 24 hours. And then I
Mhm.
usually talk to my technician, let them know. And I usually send like the email or text message and photos to them as well. Like, hey, I'm not addressing this just because I got a issue, but I want you to see what the actual client said and exactly what happened. Because now there's no mix up between I'm saying it to you, vice versa. I'm like, you get to see exactly from the horse's mouth to you to me. This is what I'm dealing with. I want you to see it, and this is how we need to go about handling it. And you know, I usually give them, you know, like a once, one try, twice. I'm like, all right, now we got an issue. And after that, I say, all right, now maybe I need to just pull them off your route and give them a different account, maybe something easier. And then if I'm like, all right, after the second time I went out there and trained you on it, now we need to see if you just got a scooping issue or something, or like what's really going on here. But yeah, I try to give them, you know, some breaks and not be so hard as it used to be, but still be as hold them accountable for what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that seems like a really good process because you're working through it with them and then they're able to see. And then you go back and see what the issue is. If they got their blinders on, their passes are maybe a little too wide when there's small dogs, small
Yeah.
poops. Like
Yep. Oh
tighten those
yes.
passes up. And then when you have the larger dogs, yo, your passes can be a little larger.
Yeah.
They don't have to
Yeah.
be so tight.
Yeah. 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 And I always tell them just double check behind yourself. I mean, even though you just walk past this area, you might have missed something. When you walking back up, look back over yourself again.
So would you say that the employee turnover rate has been the biggest issue with hiring staff?
Yeah, I say definitely because you know it's not for everybody, and I
It's
always
not.
tell them that at the beginning. I'm like, look here, I know you might love dogs, but you're not gonna see dogs every day.
Right.
You're gonna
And
see more shit than dogs.
and not everybody has the eye for it.
Yeah, or the smell. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had some people that I hired, and in 2 days they were done. I'm like, you know, I'm sorry. I'm like, I told you it's gonna get funky in the summertime. It's
Mhm.
strong. And you know, you're gonna see things like snakes and stuff. I don't know if you have them up there, but you're gonna run across snakes. And you know, every now and then you might have a dog get let out on you by mistake. But I'm like, this is why I train you how to defend yourself and exit out of the yard without getting bit. Because I've done this for 9 years going on, never been bit. Came close, never been bit. And I knocked
Now I
on
got
some
some
wood.
wood, please.
Yeah, I just knocked on some wood, but yeah. And you know, it's difficult, but you know, if you be smart about yourself and have some actual, you know, wits, some common sense, and good training,
Yep.
it can be avoided.
Yeah, there's some people out there that just they don't get it. They just don't get it. And it's us as leaders, right? We need to recognize that right away and not let them come into our team because they'll bring us down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people, when they see a job posting, they're like, I can scoop dog poop. I can do that. I do it in my backyard. But they don't understand the communication with the customers, the routing, the sanitizing, how detailed you have to be. It's a lot
Yeah.
more than just scooping dog poop.
Yeah. You're not scooping poop in your mom's backyard.
Nah.
You know, you're doing this to make money. And I always tell them another thing. I always tell my team, I said, I know I'm paying you like my name on the check, but really the client is paying.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, if you're doing a shitty job, they're gonna let me know. And they will let you know. If you missing piles of shit, I always tell them, send me photos. I want to see the shit they miss. That way I can send it to my tech and let them know, hey.
How big is your service area? Do you have a large area?
Yeah, my service area, I do about a 20-mile radius of our state house. And I say that's at least about 2 million people here, 2.5.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's huge. So with us, when we get a complaint, the first time I send them back, I'm like, okay, you can go back, rescoop this. And then if the same person complains, I'm going back because I want to see like what's going on. Cause that actually just happened today. And then I got a request to remove that technician from that yard. And I'm like, dang, man. But I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And it's similar to my process. I mean, sometimes I do that as well. Like if they miss the first time, I'm like, all right, y'all go back, re-scoop it. They get it done. Second time, I go out there sometimes. Sometimes it's the first time I go out there. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go handle it because, this is a good client. I want to go ahead and take care of them. And then I'm like, damn. And then I usually, while I'm in there, I'm showing the post, I'm taking photos and sending it to the tech. Like, hey, this is, or a video if it's not a lot, like this is the shit you missed. And I'm like, I'm out here scooping it now. Like,
don't you feel ridiculous out there with your camera? You're like taking pictures, taking video, and I feel like a fool. I'm sure neighbors are like, what are they doing? Why are they doing like a low profile view of this?
I'm zooming in. I'm getting like the best. Again, like I try to show them like a wall or like the shed or something, like a tree. Like, it was from this far from this tree. From this, like you need to know where you missed the shit exactly, because you can show them the grass, but that don't really give them a big whole visual. No, I want you to see like something where you could pinpoint where you missed it. Yeah.
20 years ago, did you think that you'd be taking pictures of dog poop in backyards?
No, 20 years ago, I honestly imagined I'll be done graduate from college with my electronic engineering degree, making about $70,000 a year coming out of college, and that was not the plan afterwards.
I had no idea what I was gonna do. I don't know, but my camera roll, it's just like dog poop, dogs, dog memes, videos of dog poop. I'm like, this shit's crazy.
I have a lot of photos of dogs, dog poop, videos of dog poop, videos of me scooping dog poop, first person view. Yeah.
It's so funny.
I definitely got a little folder in my Google Drive with like videos of dog shit.
So many of them, but it doesn't even faze us. If we were to show other people, they'd be like, oh, that's disgusting. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, just dog shit. That's it.
Yeah, it ain't no big thing. I gotta quit bringing dog poop up and scooping dog poop when it's like eating time or the most inappropriate times.
Yeah. I do that a little bit. The weirdest thing I say one of my pet peeves is when I'm walking or riding my bike like on like one of the trails, and it's like the paved ones, so people walk their dogs there and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm riding and I see dog shit on the sidewalk. Like that just like makes me want to erupt and then like pure like madness. Who the fuck left this? Because
right.
I don't ride my tire through it and fling up shit on me while I'm biking. Like I can't just stop and clean this off. Like there's nowhere to do this, and it's just like
and if it's a fresh one, and then you see the person a few paces up, and you're like, I know that was you lazy beep.
I just want to call them out, just ride by and throw a bag in their face. Like, there you go. Here you go, pick up that shit back there.
Because you got a trash bag in your pocket. You're going to whip out real quick.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I've done it more than once. Yeah. More than once I've had a trash bag in my pocket, and at a time when I shouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I say, I like wearing my work pants sometimes, like when I'm not working. They got a lot of pockets on it. Yeah.
A lot of pockets. My husband will be like, hey, you gonna change? I'm like, oh man, I'm cozy.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could go back in time and talk to younger Courtney, what would be one piece of advice that you would give him?
I would probably say the biggest thing would be building a network in the area where you want to be the most successful. Because
Ah,
what I say is what I've learned is the people I meet in the right places where you typically wouldn't expect one of my business to be at is where I see the most benefit because they're the ones usually okay with taking action to invest in my services and business, as well as do business with me when they meet who I am and what I'm about and what I'm actually doing for the community, as well as what I'm building here. And it's definitely helped me a lot with not just in business with like educational purpose, but with who I know because when somebody said, hey, I'm using Erica, poop scooping service, and they're like, oh, okay. But it's a little bit different when it comes to somebody that's credible, like me and you best friends. You like, hey, I just hired Erica to scoop my yard with Kroopin poop scooping. And you're like, oh man, what? Okay, how much she charge? They're gonna look at it immediately on their phone.
mhm.
Versus if somebody like, they just met, they're like, all right, yeah, I heard, oh, you got a poop scoop. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But if it's like me and you, we best buddies, and you got that network and you don't build that rapport with that person,
Yeah.
it comes up organically, and they just mention your name because they're like, man, you got a dog back here. There's no shit back here. How do you do that? Like, well, I know I got a good friend, Erica mine. I've known her for years, and like, yeah, we do business, but I've known her for years. I use her service. She's great. Let me go ahead and text you her number right now with the website link. Boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, you get a client that you didn't even think about getting organically, and you didn't even do anything, but just do what you was going to be doing anyway. But you put yourself in the right position to be in the right place to meet that one person.
Right. And you're setting yourself up too, like having the website, having the social media so people can easily find you. They don't have to like thumb through their pocketbook just trying to find your business card because they can't find you online.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You want to make yourself very findable.
and you're super findable. You are so active on social media. If our listeners want to keep up with you on social, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Palmetto Scoopers, Facebook at Palmetto Scoopers 1, and you can find us on LinkedIn at Palmetto Scoopers as well, and TikTok with Palmetto Scoopers 7. And I say we own a lot of other different things. You can find us like on Alignable. That's a different one at Palmetto Scoopers. Great networking, business networking website that you ought to look at. It is free, really good. Yeah, just a little tip right there. And
Yeah.
I say those are the main ones, as well as www.palmettoscoopers.com as well. We're there. That's our big main hub. And as well as you can always subscribe to our blog. We're always posting different fun facts on a monthly basis. Just different things you can do with your dog on certain holidays throughout that month.
I didn't realize you were that active. You have a blog. Listen, you're going to have to send me the links to all of this because I'm going to include that down in the show notes so everybody can find you because that's amazing. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate it talking some crap with you.
Yeah, this was so good. Do you have any last words for our listeners before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll say one of my last words would be my saying I said to myself when I first started this business, and for all entrepreneurs, and it's this: it has to work or it has to work. There's no other option. So when you get that in your head when you start your business, you'll succeed at all costs if you truly believe that there is no other cost but to succeed. So always remember, either it's going to work or it's going to work. There's no other choice.
That shit is some fire right there. You guys, write that down, recite that over and over again. Don't forget that I drop new episodes every Monday. And until next time, bye. That was so good. You did so good.